Hello and welcome back everyone to another episode of Voice of the Rings, a LOTRO guide. On this episode I had a request to make a more in-depth virtue video, so we're gonna do that right now. So sit right back and I will help you out here. So obviously we go to the trait tab down here. I have a whole video about the traits and stuff and the race traits, but we're going to focus on this tab here on the left, the virtues tab. Alright, what are virtues, you might ask? Well, real quick, virtues are basically things that you earn over time. It used to be you had to do them with specific deeds back in the day. Now you actually can earn whichever one you want to earn by clicking on it, okay? So basically you come in here, when you first start a character, these will all basically be 0 and grayed out, right? You won't be able to use any of them because you haven't earned any of them yet. I'll explain quickly how they work and how this panel works. So basically what happens is there's a certain level you can get to. Right now I can get all my virtues to level 74. That's because I'm a level 130 and that's how high you can get them. It matters at your actual character level, I believe. That's all that you have to worry about with that. And that's what the thing is right here, a certain amount. What do you get? This little blue line shows how much until you get to the next level of it, and the orange line underneath is earned 45 of possible virtues, 74, right? That's just basically, again, this orange line is explaining what this 45 out of 74 means, right? So that orange line will be different if I only have 23 out of 74. Now, what matters, I did a whole video, guys, if you want to check it out on stats, but stats matter, right, depending on your character. So pop over here to character tab real quick. If you look at this character tab, you look at your stats here. If you hover these, whatever class you are playing, I am a guardian here, right? So whatever class you're playing, it will read as follows. See the little tab that popped up when I hovered it? If you notice, the tab popped up over here on the right above the thing. So it says might. As a guardian, might is very important for you. That's all you need to know, right? Look, I hover will. As a guardian, will increases your statistical. It doesn't say very important for you. You see how I have almost no will? I don't care about it. Vitality. As a guardian, vitality is very important for you. So if you're curious on what stats you need to have for your virtues, or for your armor, because your armor gives you stats, or for, you know, other things like that, or your essences you'll put into your armor, I can do a video on that if you want it. That is what matters, right? You just hover these, find out which ones. For guardians, might and vitality are the things, because might gives you your physical mastery, which you're hitting with physical weapons and bows, right? And your block and parry ratings, which is very good because you're tanking, right? Fate gives you more critical chance. It gives you higher on everything. Healing in combat. Finesse, which means the people can't hit you as much, or can't block you as much, that kind of thing. And vitality is obviously kind of makes sense. It gives you maximum health and gives you resistances against things like fire, poison, that kind of thing. Non-combat moral regen means when you're outside of combat, which I have a video on combat, guys, you can watch that too. But when you're outside of combat, you heal quicker, right? So vitality and might, those are the big things for guardians. Those are also good for like champions. Fate, same thing. Will and fate are going to be more important on tactical classes like lore master, rune keeper, minstrel, right? Agility is going to be very important for burglars and for hunters. You know what I mean? Captains are going to want to have, I think, more vitality, and they might need to have a lot of fate. I'm not sure with captains. Again, hover the things in your character tab and it'll tell you which ones are very important for you. Those are the words you're looking for. Very important for you. Okay, now we're done with that. You got a little background. Back to the trait panel. You already know how these traits work. If you hover every trait, it'll explain what it does, right? What it gives you. Your compassion is one of your greatest strengths. Okay, it doesn't matter. That's just for fun, right? The wording. What matters is underneath. It gives you a certain amount of physical mitigation, tactical mitigation, armor values. So compassion gives you defenses against physical attacks and arrows, which is physical mitigation, and tactical mitigation, which is against magic, lightning, fire, poison, that kind of stuff, right? And then armor, which adds to your whole all your defenses, basically. And it gives you a passive bonus when you have it applied, some tiny bit of maximum morale, tiny bit of health, which is really insignificant for this particular rune, right? I mean, particular trait for me, because I'm so high level. But the other ones are great, because if you look over here back at your character thing and you look at, like, let's say this is just for a comparison. This would be for every character. You could do this and compare things, right? Down here, physical, no, you're looking at what is the gift? Physical mitigation. Okay, so if you can't, by the way, if you don't see all your stats, click on this little check mark up here, say show all stats at the top, and then it will show you. But here we go. Physical mastery, but you want physical mitigation. Damage mitigations, so it is right here, physical. So as you can see, it adds a little bit to this. I have 242,000, and then it goes into deeper explanation, reduces incoming physical damage by 34.8%, right? So it's all math, right, with that kind of stuff. So that's basically why you want these up higher. Things I use loyalty. Loyalty is fantastic for guardians, for champions, for anyone who wants who's going to be tanking. Loyalty is very good. So as you can see, I almost have it maxed out. Loyalty gives vitality, a massive amount right there of vitality, a massive amount of armor value, incoming healing, which means if someone heals you or you heal yourself, so let's say you use Warrior's Heart, which gives you a heal, or you use Catch a Breath, gives you a heal, that'll increase how much healing you get on your character, right, to have incoming healing. Also, if the Minstrel is healing you, the healer of the party, as a tank, you want that. And it also has a passive bonus of an extra 1500 morale, which is quite significant compared to that other bonus, right? So anyway, that's the one I use. Now you're asking, how do I earn these, right? You're like, this helps. Now I understand how the panel works, but how do I earn these things? Okay, well, this is really simple too. Basically, see how it says right here at the bottom, earning? The new system is basically, all you do is you left click on it, and it'll switch one you actually are earning points for at that time. It'll automatically later warn you if you're at max. So I'm gonna actually go back to earning loyalty, right? Once this is max, it's gonna say, it'll give you a message and it'll be like, warning, you can't earn any more, switch to what you want to be earning, right? My wit, obviously, look at this, I have never put any points in the wit, right? Because I don't want to use that on this particular character. Wit would be very, very good for a mage, like a lore master or something, because it gives critical rating and finesse, right? Could also be good for me, give some physical mastery too, so you could use it, but I like to have the tanking stats, because usually I want to be more tanky. But again, how do you earn this? Well, you earn this basically over time with, you'll get these little pots. Do I have any in my inventory right now? I don't. They will look like, it'll say the little pot when you hover it gives you virtue XP, right? So you'll use that. Also, you will earn virtue. I'm going to open the deed log. Don't freak out. This isn't too much. I have a whole episode on deed log if you guys want to look at it. But if you look at these deeds, a lot of the times, like for example, these ones are going to give me a class point trait. That's for the trait tree. We're doing virtues, we're doing virtue traits. We're not doing the class traits. I know it can be confusing sometimes. But anyway, if you go into these, so see this? If I complete this deed, look down here. See this little eagle head and it says virtue experience? If I complete this quest and defeat all these different people, the different boars, in the hidden heart wood of, right, this is in Breland, whatever. I have a whole video on the deed log. Go check that one out if you're confused about this. But at the bottom it says rewards. It gives you some points for the turbine store, which are like real money points. It gives you some of these tradable items. It gives you some marks, and it gives you 2,000 virtue XP. So when you complete this deed, whichever virtue you are earning at that time, clicked on, when you complete it, it will add that to that virtue. That makes sense for everyone. Does that simple, right? So usually that's how you do it. You through deeds. Occasionally a quest might give you virtue XP. It usually doesn't. This is going to be through deeds. So make sure you know what your deeds are doing. Like in the area, usually it'll pop up a little message and say, oh, you have a new deed, right? A little message thing down here that pops up when you're doing something as a new character. And then make sure you're clicked on the one you want to be earning. Okay, you'll get a daily spin even as a free-to-player. The little Hobbit gift you get daily also comes up in the thing here, and you click it. You can open a little Hobbit gift daily, and it'll sometimes give you the bottle that I was talking about, that you'll right-click in your inventory, and it'll give you virtue XP depending on which one you're earning. Is this good for everyone? I hope I didn't do this too quickly, but that is basically it. You need to know, and you can have a level up over time, but at a certain point, you will have all the virtues you need, right? Now, if you say you want to go to the tank thing, I believe it actually does switch your virtues out. So these two panels here is actually a switch over. So let's say if you go back, please watch my other video on class traits I have. You can switch out so this is my tank page and name it and stuff. But these tabs also work for what you have on your virtues. So as you can see, it changes some of my virtues when I went to the second tab. You can buy a third tab if you want in the LOTRO store, if you want a third one for different, because there's 3 different traits in the class. But virtues, you're also going to want to change your virtues depending on what you're doing. If you're tanking, you're going to want all the tank virtues like I explained, right? So you notice, look, it'll switch out which ones I had on there again because I chose them, right? If you want to have damage, you might want to have damage things that give, maybe you want wit. It gives critical rating and finesse rating. That does help you as a guardian still. I feel like it's better even when I'm doing damage to have more vitality and armor. But that's just me, right? So you can switch them out. And again, how do you switch them out? Just left click on these up here, or right click, I'm sorry, right click to remove them. See, so there we go. So I actually removed them, and then I want to put them back. I just left click them, the ones I want to use here. And again, when or actually, you know, you're gonna right click them here down here. Sorry, because when you left click, it actually changes which ones you're earning. So just make sure you know clicking the right things, right? Don't do what I just did. Yeah. So then I'm gonna use this one. So right clicking that. So now they're being used, and it automatically saves. So I don't think you even have to click anything. So if you notice too, when I turned off this, look, see how my HP went down by a lot, like 16,000. Put that back on, boom, my HP went back up, right? So you immediately get the stats. You cannot do this in combat, you have to do this out of combat, guys. It won't let you. And one more thing for you to know, now you know how to switch them out, you know all that. Accelerators down here, you can click on accelerators. And sometimes you'll earn these, and they'll be in your inventory, and it'll say it'll accelerate your virtue experience. But you actually get these tomes that will give you acceleration based on what you earn. Gain bonus virtues for your next 2,000 XP. So basically, if you use 2,000 XP, you're going to get double that, right? If you do a deed and it gives you 2,000 XP, if you're using this up to 2,000 XP, so let's say you do a bunch of deeds, they all give 500 XP. You could do 4 of those with this accelerator, and it will double all that. So you'll get, instead of getting 2,000 XP, you'll get 4,000, right, for that particular trait. That's what these are. You sometimes can earn these. You have to pay for these with the turbine points. I mean, not turbine, sorry. The LOTRO points. Outstanding stones. That's an old thing in my mind. So the LOTRO points. You don't need those. You'll earn it over all the ones you need over time. You're only going to need probably 5, maybe 10 of these traits done, depending on if you want to switch between tanking and damage. So I hope this helps you guys. I am your host and guide, Zolan Ironshield. Again, I really hope that this is helpful to you about the trait tree panel and how to use them, how to earn them through deeds and quests. And when you get those Hobbit gifts, you can use the potions. Make sure you clicked on the right one with the one you want to be earning. Make sure it's the correct stuff that you want to be using for that character. You know, this in combat power, moral regen, maximum tactical, that's good. Justice is also good for Guardians, so I use that one, right? Again, you can look at your character panel to see what traits are good for, what traits and things you want, whether it be might, will, vitality, fate, or agility, right? Depending on those 5 things. And then physical armor, physical mastery, tactical is magic. Damages for magic things, physical is usually bows, hammers, axes, that kind of stuff, right? Armor adds a little to both, but yep. So again, I hope that was enough info for you guys. I don't hope it wasn't too quick. Leave a comment if you want anything else about this, but I think I covered it pretty thoroughly. Again, Slayer deeds is good. Go get this done. All sorts of things. These by the way, there's a little axe here and a little shield. I believe what that means is that it has a shield in this little corner down here under the name of whatever it is. It is for more defensive stats. If it is a sword, it's more damage stats. Yeah, it is. Yep, correct. So it kind of gives you a little gist. If you don't want to look at all the details by hovering it, so zeal is actually for damaging, right? See, might usually gives physical damage, physical mastery, critical rating. Those are all damage things. Versus loyalty gives armor, vitality for health, and incoming healing. That's defensive things. So that's what those little weapons are on the corners too. So there you go, my friends. I hope this was a helpful guide for my friends out there in the Voice of the Ring and Lord of the Rings community. And I am your guide and host, Zolan Ironshield, and I'm in this pretty land of Bree right now. See you on the next video, everyone. Have a good day, and stay safe out there in Middle Earth.